friends! So we're back for a quick review about unit fractions and fractions in general. So first of all, let's review the parts of a fraction. Remember, a fraction is a number that represents part of a whole or a set. And a fraction looks like this, okay? We have a number and then a line and then a number. And my top number, can you remember what the top number is called? Try to say it to yourself. Right, it's a numerator. And the top number or numerator represents how many parts am I talking about? How many parts are being shown? How many parts did we eat? Okay? Our bottom number, can you remember what the bottom number is called? Remember my wrestling example? Try to say the bottom number out loud to yourself. Right, it's the denominator. And the denominator tells me how many parts I have total. So if I wanted to draw a picture to represent this fraction, okay, how many parts do I need to divide it into? Right, I have 4 total parts, so I need to divide it into 4 parts. How many parts do I need to shade? How many parts am I talking about? 3. Okay, so 3/4 of that shape are shaded. Okay, that's kind of our brief review about fractions, but I want to talk to you a little bit more about unit fractions. So unit fractions can be just a little bit confusing because we're only talking about one part, okay? Whenever we talk about a unit fraction, my numerator is always going to be 1. My numerator will always be 1 in a unit fraction. If it's not 1, it's not a unit fraction, okay? So let's look at an example. I have a circle and I cut it in half. What is the unit fraction of one of those pieces? Okay, well I'm talking about one piece and I know my numerator for a unit fraction is always 1. What would my denominator be? Right, it would be 2 because I have 2 parts. So the unit fraction for this shape is 1/2. All right. Now let's let you practice some unit fractions. I want you to draw a rectangle. And I would like for you to divide it into 5 equal pieces. Remember our trick that we've been talking about? If I want 5 parts, how many lines do I need to draw? 4. Go ahead and try that. Great. Does it look something like this? I drew 4 lines and I now have 5 parts. Great. Now, can you label each one of those parts with its unit fraction? Go ahead and pause the video, label them, and then come back. All right, so let's talk about our unit fraction. We know my numerator is always going to be 1 because I'm only talking about one part. What's my denominator? 5 because there's 5 parts total. So the unit fraction for each one of these is 1/5. Good. Did you label each one of those as 1/5? Awesome. Let's try another. I want you to go ahead and draw a rectangle again. This time, partition it into 7 equal parts. So that means you'll draw 6 lines and label each part with its unit fraction. You can hit pause. Once you have it done, come back to check. All right, so we have our rectangle. We were dividing it into 7 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. I drew 6 lines to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. All right, what's the unit fraction for each part? Always a numerator of 1, denominator of 7. So 1/7 is what each one of those unit fractions are. Good. Did you get that one right? All right. Now let's change it up. What if I give you this? Can you write the unit fraction that represents this part? Go ahead and hit pause, write your unit fraction, and then come back to check it. Okay, did you write 1/4 as your unit fraction? 1 for our numerator because we have one part, 4 for our denominator because there's 4 parts total. All right, let's try one more before you go on to practice. All right, there's my rectangle. It's divided into 8 equal parts. Can you write the unit fraction that represents that part? Hit pause, write your unit fraction, and then come back to check. All right, did you write 1/8 is our unit fraction? 1 because one part, 8 because there's 8 parts total. All right, hopefully you feel like, man, I'm really good at unit fractions. I got it. You're gonna go below and do a little bit more practice.